Now, Australia and Sky News' own Piers Morgan have been caught in Prince Harry's crosshairs during day one of his testimony of a historical and historic phone hacking case.
Evening, chaps.
Piers.
Hello.
What do you think of Harry's accusations today?
I didn't see it, I'm sorry.
He said your behaviour was vile and unjustified. What do you think?
I didn't see it. But I wish him luck with his privacy campaign. Look forward to reading it in his next book.
As you can imagine, Fleet Street is having a field day. Here are the front pages from London as we see them this evening. The Daily Mirror, which is at the centre of this new case. Harry versus the press. Prince sets out his case in the high courts. And The Sun. Harry's day in court is the splash there. Me, Hewitt, and that two-faced Burrell right there. Look, we're going to cross now to Angela Levin, who is a royal commentator and correspondent. She joins us now from London as the fifth in line to the throne enters the witness stand for another day of evidence. Angela, in all of your years covering the royal family and all of the circus surrounding it, is this once again just unprecedented scenes from more than 132 years?
Well, I'm not that old, but I am actually Prince Harry's biographer. I wrote a biography of him, which came out in 2018. Spent 15 months with him, and I can tell you that I don't recognise the character he is now. Before, he was charismatic, lively, helpful with everybody, couldn't wait to help people who were damaged in the war, and so on. So this is a very different Harry. He's angry with everybody and everything. He blames everyone for his own life, and he seems to have no idea how the world works, actually. He was very rude about the United Kingdom, saying that the government and the press are useless and hopeless, and that's why they're at rock bottom. Now, we don't really like to hear that from somebody who is a member of the royal family. In fact, they never talk about politics. And he's just making his own position as regards to people in the UK very difficult indeed.
Yeah, let's take another look at some of those newspapers that, of course, all of them are leading with it. The Telegraph, cracks appear in Duke's case during grilling in the witness box. The Daily Express, game changer, new drug to slim down the nation, but also Harry breaks protocol with attack on, like you say, Angela, rock bottom government. And also the Daily Mail, Harry in the witness box. He must have longed for the schmaltzy embrace of Oprah, writes Jan Moore. Angela, in terms of the fact that he's come after the Mirror so hard, and specifically someone like Piers Morgan, who has been, quite outspoken in his opinions on not only Prince Harry, but also his wife, Meghan Markle, do you think it's very personal? This has nothing really to do with the fact that there are historic allegations of phone hacking?
No, he's been very personal about lots of people, actually. I think one picks out Piers because he's famous and he was the editor of The Mirror at that time. He's a rascal as well, and they did do some hacking, but they say that the ones that Prince Harry is saying they haven't done. Now, the problem is he comes in with very generalised comments. He says that, this is what happened. And they say, well, what year, what newspaper, what journalist? And he says, well, you have to find the journalist. You see, he doesn't want to take the responsibility even for that on his own. You can't imagine someone who is less prepared for what's going on. And he lashes out at everyone. He lashes out at his family. He lashed out with me in his book, saying that I only wanted to do it because I have a desperate need of money. It's just a little nonsense. And he just is a desperate man. I've been trying to work out why, and I think part of it is because he wants power. He thinks this is powerful. In fact, it's shown how feeble he is because he doesn't know how to. If you go to a court case, you have to give them facts. It's not your feeling of what happened. You've got to give specific facts. And he He's not powerful at home. It's quite obvious Meghan is the power in the house, and he wants to prove himself. But by doing that, he's become very negative, going right back in the past. His girlfriend, who he went out with and it ended 13 years ago, he's still arguing about that. One can understand a bit about his mother, but at some point, although however awful it was, he has to move on. And he just won't. He's stuck in a very dark rut, whereas Meghan loves the press, loves people to come around, even she just has a hairdo differently. So it's a ridiculous state he's in as well, because you can't have him hating the press and blaming the UK because he doesn't want to be part of it anymore, and somebody who wants to have them all around her all the time, but only saying nice things.
Yeah, it is interesting. And it's also really unprecedented, the fact that all of the newspapers seem to be carrying the exact same line. They're all a bit bemused by as to why he's even started these proceedings once again. The Evening Standard leads with Harry at court for his high-stakes gamble, and the Metro.uk prints in the witness box Harry's reality check, Duke's shock claims in historic High Court showdown. But Angela, like you say, he enters the witness box and you kind of see that he's hired these incredibly high-powered legal team that which would be charging a fortune by the hour, and he doesn't even look like he's been proofed appropriately to enter his own cross-examination.
Yes, it's right. I mean, I don't know what his lawyer said to him, if he listened to him at all. You can't teach someone how to do it. You can't practice it. That's illegal. But he could have said, make sure you've got the detail. And he just hasn't bothered. He doesn't want to do that because it's boring. He always told me he hated that at school and he hated sitting at a computer. Wow. But he's taken that with him. He's 38 now, and he doesn't actually understand that you can't just say, oh, get the journalist to say it. Because if you're accusing someone of something, you're the one who has to have all the detail. But there's another aspect of that, he was obviously addicted to drugs. We don't know what the state is now with him, but he could easily be a serial litigist, where somebody who just has to keep on taking things to court and trying to get people to apologise to him, because that gives them a sort of bounce. I'm just wondering whether this is the start of him going back and back and back, because he said he's never going to give in. Yeah. And if he loses it, he might win one or two. The papers were appalling towards him, but a lot of them were in other papers before the Mirror did it. So that's a nonsense. He didn't understand that at all. And about a kitchen where a chef who he is very good and very popular. Harry had a meal there, and he was furious that one of the papers, he just said it was the Mirror, talked about that the following day. And the lawyer said to him, it could have been the chef. And he said, no, he would be cooking. He said, not realising that in a very special restaurant, there'll be loads of cooks. Yeah. So you see, he said, I've never been in a kitchen. And you think, my God, this is absolutely sad.
Yeah, like you say, it is so sad, and the court of public opinion is very different to what we're seeing play out there in London right now. Just quickly, Angela, I've noticed how the royal family are sort of trying to play this off, never complain, never explain, they're just getting on with their great work. Do you think it's dented the firm at all and their confidence when they go out in public, or do you think they'll just carry on, keep calm and carry on?
I think that they are devastated by him. They have loved him. And to have, even if it's a king, he still loves his son. He's a father. And I think it's desperately upsetting for him. But Harry wants him to apologise for all sorts of things. And I think the list is very, very long and goes back till he was a very small boy. Now, King Charles isn't going to do that. He's never going to get that. So he's keeping out of his way. And I think some of the senior royals won't talk to him at all. I thought about the coronation, they'd just discuss the weather, because that's always something in the UK. But otherwise, keep well away, because he sells off comments that they make to him. Yeah. Can't have that.
No, not at all. Not at all. It's just such a sad saga when at the end of the day, it is a family at the crux of this argument, like you say. And more than most, being his biographer, we need to rush out immediately when the shops open tomorrow, Angela Levin, to buy that Prince Harry biography. Thank you so much for joining us this evening on The Front Page, and we look forward to speaking to you again.